Yeah. And I heard Joy's a little stuffed up too.
Yeah, she's a little sick. The girls are a little sick too. I seem to be the lucky one and not get sick.
Yeah.
I don't know
I hear
why.
you. I hear you. Well, you're a proud veteran, and
Still I'm in the Army. 22 years
No kidding.
as of March 22nd. 22 years.
wow,
Yeah.
thanks for serving our country.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah, in the Army, and a guy that just walked in the room is our new managing partner and engineer here, Sonar. He was in the Navy.
Well, we all make mistakes in our youth.
Right.
No, I'm proud to know him.
Yeah. And so we have a veteran that's going to be 100 years old.
Yep.
Wow.
And he's lived here his whole life, and so it's he built his own house over on the north end of over here on the city near I forgot where exactly it's, but it's way on the north end of the city.
Huh.
Yeah. So he built his own house over there, bought some land, and built his own house there, and he's got. According to his daughters, they've had 5 generations live there.
Really?
His parents lived there. He lived there. His kids and his grandkids have lived there.
So he's like a lifetime Elginite? Yeah?
Born and raised, yeah.
His name is Walter Shales. And now I guess he's over at Elgin Riverview Rehab Center. Is that right?
Yeah, he just went over there just
Yeah?
a little while ago. He was fighting to the end to stay in the house for a long time. And he goes back home like every 3 or 4 days and has dinner on Sunday nights there at home, and tries to be part of his grandkids' life and everything, and his kids' life, yeah.
Yeah. So 100 years old, he turns next Friday.
Yep.
So
the 19th.
He served our country back in World War II as a staff sergeant, World War II, traveling to the Philippines, New Guinea, Thailand, and Japan.
Yep.
And as you mentioned, has 3 children. So he's been there, done that as a veteran,
Yeah.
and he's been there, done that as a lifer too, to make it to 100 years old. That's amazing,
I should be so lucky.
right?
Yeah, I'm hoping for 80. but I could just imagine. And not too many people get to 100 years old nowadays.
No.
Back in Adam's time, they lived much longer, but Adam from the Bible, so they lived
Yeah.
much longer than they do now. So I can only be so lucky to get that age.
Yeah, me too.
So it's pretty cool to honor him, to be able to go there. It's going to be over at the nursing home, as well as starting at 1 o'clock to about 3, and it's going to be out in front. He'll be outside, and people will be able to drive by, say hi, and say congratulations on making to the big 100.
Yeah.
And he's going to also, we're hoping to have him there for Memorial Day at Veterans Park as well, when we do Memorial Day.
Oh, good.
And he'll be at Bluff City as well, too. We'll hopefully be able to honor him there as well, too, and say congratulations for being here and being part of the celebration of honoring other veterans from the
Yeah.
past.
Well, maybe he'd be willing to come over to America's First Responders Fest too in September.
We'll see.
And
We'll have to ask his daughter Cindy and see if we
Yeah?
can bring him. Yeah, yeah. She is his ride.
Well, that'll be on Saturday, September the 7th, and we want to do a veterans presentation on stage that day too.
That
So
would be awesome. I think she would love that.
Yeah.
I think he'd like that too. He's apparently very sharp, and I haven't had a chance to go over and sit down and talk to him yet. But he is apparently sharp as a tack, and still able to do everything he needs to do,
yeah, well, I hope the weather's really nice next Friday for this.
Yeah.
That'd be great. I never really know this time of the year. I suppose could be a rainy day.
Wait 10 minutes.
Yeah. But if it is nice like today, it'd be perfect, and it would be 1 to 3 outside. So the public is invited to come by?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Everybody's invited to come and see him and say hi to him and celebrate his birthday. The American Legion will be there from 1 to 3, or at least 1 to 2, and they're going to do a small little ceremony honoring him, or hopefully have the American Legion Riders there as well, too. I am trying to get a certificate from the United States Army honoring him from Rock Island Arsenal, the command there, and hopefully something for First Army, which I'm part of First Army. I'm hoping to get something there too for him as well to honor his service and him making this a memento age.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
the address is at 50 North Jane Drive. So that's right off of Larkin, right?
yeah, it's right behind the Jewel, basically.
Okay. Right behind the Jewel, right by our friend Mike Warren and Britain's Car Wash
Yes.
over there.
Yep.
So in that area, 50 North Jane Drive. Stop by, say hi.
Technically, it's behind the bank right there. It's Jules, half a block over, but
Yeah.
it's kind of like right there.
Okay. And that's next Friday. And we've heard from Commander Mark Smith from the American Legion. American Legion Riders will deliver special honors at about 2 o'clock. I guess right in the middle of that. And the actual place is the Elgin Riverview Rehab Center, if you want to look it up.
Yeah.
And Mayor Dave Captain's going to do a proclamation tonight, right?
Yeah, 7 o'clock at the City Council meeting, which will be pretty awesome. You can watch it on cable, or you can go on over and be there when he does that. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. I'm going to try to get over there. I'm going to be there definitely on the 19th. I'm going to be there in uniform, and I'm hopefully going to be able to give him a certificate of appreciation. Hey, and there goes my favorite UPS guy.
What's his name?
It's
Your favorite UPS guy.
and I just forgot his
Didn't
name.
mean to stump you. But I get it.
Saul is his name.
Saul?
Yes, Saul.
Okay.
I give him a hug every time he comes into the funeral home.
He's around downtown all the time.
Yep. This is his. He's been a driver for 14 years. You believe that?
Wow.
Yeah, been around for a long time. But I'm hopefully gonna present him with a. I'm gonna pay for his membership for the American Legion this year, and we're gonna give him a membership into the Legion, and we're hopefully going to give him like a certificate from the United States Army as well too.
Wow. That'll be awesome. So it's going to be a big year for Mr. Shales at age 100.
I know, isn't it?
Bouncing around. We're gonna probably broadcast the Bluff City Cemetery Memorial Day ceremony again this year. I think and obviously we'll do a broadcast from America's First Responders Fest. And who knows, maybe we'll pop out there next Friday for a little bit.
I would love that if you could come, or someone could come from the radio and just be there at 2 o'clock. To be
Is that kind of when the climax is going to be, right?
Well, we figured 2 would be a good idea because it would, it's not right at 1 o'clock and it goes till 3, so kind of in between. So I think it would just be a good way of people getting there and being part of that.
Yeah. So there's not going to be like a microphone out there or anything, right? It's just going to be kind of happening on the grass or in front of the building or whatever.
I believe it's going to be near the door. I don't know exactly how they're going to set it up, but I'm leaving it up to the nursing home to take care of.
All right, cool. Well, that's next Friday, again, for between 1 and 3, I guess, with the main awards time being about 2 o'clock.
Yep.
And you're involved in many ways, being a veteran, but also because you are a part of this creating Operation Love with Joy, right?
Yep.
And that love stands for Love Our Veterans, Elgin.
Yep.
So Symonds Madison and you guys are always trying to make sure the veterans are not forgotten, right?
Yeah, and I'll tell you a little thing about why Operation Love started and why it was so important to us to be part of honoring veterans who, before they pass away. We had a gentleman by the name of John James Murphy who passed away at that same nursing home, and he didn't have any family. Yeah. And so the coroner called me and said, would you like to take care of him? He doesn't have any family. And I said, absolutely. And I've done it before, and I've gotten him honors at Abraham Lincoln National Cemetery, kind of quietly. I didn't want to, make a big fanfare about it.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah. And my wife said to me, he says, he's been living here for at least about 14 years. I think he knows some people. And so let's have a little bit of a service for him, and it was just amazing. We had over 600 people come and honor him. Someone who didn't have family, didn't know that many people, but we had so many people come out, and it was heartwarming and moving. And we had several people come to us and say, "Can we do something before they pass away?"
Yeah.
And Joy goes, well, let's do something. And we talked about it, and we came up with Operation Love. And so this is part of it. We're able to come and honor someone before they pass away. So they're cared for and loved and know that they're appreciated.
Yeah. Well, that is really nice. And that kind of started a bit of a snowball effect, right? Since then, you guys have done many of those types of services over there, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I like to do more and honor those who have passed away, who have served our nation, but it's one of those things is that it doesn't always happen all the time.
So as far as Operation Love goes then, what exactly do you try to do? You try to honor people before they pass away and also make veterans, because many of veterans around the area either don't have family or maybe they are living at a residence or something like that,
or they're just shut in,
Yeah.
or they don't want to be around people. And I've had families who come to me and says, and we've met him and he was grumpy and he didn't want anybody in life and we just forced our way into his life, you know. Sometimes you have to be, veterans can be very stubborn. Just ask my wife.
She's a veteran? No, I'm kidding.
No, and so it's one of those things is that sometimes you have to be insistent on being part of their lives, because they sometimes try to shut the world out and try to be part of their lives. And so it's important to be to get them out in society and to do things. You know, I wish I had better words to say to describe what we try to do, but
Yeah.
you know, we try to do the Christmas gifts for veterans during Christmas time.
Right.
We do the gift giving, and we try to do Valentine's Day, get Valentines out to veterans at the nursing homes. So it's if you know a veteran, try to go out and spend some time with them, you know, bully your way into their lives, you know, and just say, you know, you are loved, because there's a lot of veterans who feel that they're not loved and not cared about and figure, oh, well, they forgot about me. No, let's not forget about them.
Yeah, well, thankfully, because of organizations like yours, and I think just in public in general, I think over the past decade, 10, 20 years, maybe it's finally been realized. The veterans are finally getting some of the appreciation they deserve that maybe they didn't used to get, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's not, I don't think it's enough.
Yeah.
But, you know, you can only start from a small little, how do you move a mountain? One rock at a time.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a snowball effect.
All right. Well, Dan Symonds is here, and if anybody wants to find out more about Operation Love, you guys have a Facebook page or something,
Yes, we
right?
do. It's part of the funeral. If you go to the funeral home webpage, there's a link there on the funeral home page, or you just call the funeral home at 847-741-1128. Jennifer answers the phone from about 9 a.m. to about 5, and then I take over in the evening. You can call at any time. The wife is used to getting phone calls at about 2 a.m., so it's okay.
Yeah.
Don't recommend calling at 2 a.m. if you want to know about this. Call during the day.
Yeah. 847-741-1128.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you ever want to at Christmas time either deliver gifts or make a contribution to buy some gifts or go pick some out, right?
What we did, you can go pick them up and bring them to the funeral home. We'll have things on on Facebook. If you want to, you can join their Facebook. It's a private group, so you can come in and ask to be invited, and you can do online, purchase something online. We have now a shop that we're trying to do is where you can buy a gift for a veteran and it gets given to them, and then also you can bring a gift to the funeral home. So it makes it a little easier sometimes if you don't want to go out and buy a gift.
Yeah. Well, we have one phone call. It's coming in as wireless call, so I have no
Wireless call.
idea whether this is a call for you or a call for... We'll find out. Let's take a call in case it is for Dan before we let him go. 847-931-1410. Good afternoon. Welcome to Out to Lunch.
Hello, it's Jackie. Hi, Mark. Hi, Dan.
Hey, Jackie.
Hi, Jackie.
I got just back in the car from a senior service event. Can you give me the address again for that event for Mr. Shales next Friday?
Yeah, it's 50 North Jane Drive. Isn't that right? Yeah.
So it's right behind it's right when you turn on the not gas station, but when you turn on the car wash, right there. That's just after the car wash and next to the Chase Bank, and it goes down that way. It's kind of like behind the Jewel and Chase Bank.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know. Yeah, I've been over that area many times. Okay, but I didn't recognize the street name, so thank you so very much. And one quick thing to Mark.
Yeah.
Loved the Egyptian Theater with the event on Sunday.
Oh, you went?
It was. Oh, yeah. You were about 2 rows in front of me, and I kind of waved at you twice, but you didn't see me.
Oh, sorry.
I was sitting with my sister. But, yes, that was he is fantastic.
He is great.
So,
So Rick Lindy and the Wild Ones, who played at First Responders Fest last. They're jukebox legends, 50s, 60s type music. Play all the great songs. And they were at the Egyptian Theater in DeKalb on Sunday, and they played at the Elgin History Museum's car show last July. They're going to be there again this July. So
My girls will want to go. I know them.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks.
Fantastic voice. So thank you so very much, and thank you, Dan, for all you do.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you, Jackie. Take care.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. All right. Well, Dan, thanks for coming in today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to get this out and let people know that this gentleman has reached a milestone in everybody's lives. And I just want everyone to come and be there and be part of his celebration.
Well, and I'll talk to Sonar here, and like I said, maybe we can take the radio station over there for a little bit next Friday.
That would be awesome. I was going to ask you if we could do something like that, but that would be totally awesome.
Yeah, I think we can probably make that work.
So anybody, please come, and it's, will you give the address again?
50 North Jane Drive, right by the Jewel, by the bank over there off of Larkin Avenue.
Yeah, and if you got any questions, concerns, you can give the funeral home a call at 741-1128. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Dan, take care. 847-741-1128 for further questions. Call the Symonds Madision Funeral Home. It's 12:50. We're going to finish this hour of Out to Lunch in just a couple of moments. Sonar will take over next hour. Keep it right here on WRMN.
Dine out with family and friends at Nick's Pizza in Elgin or Crystal Lake. Nick serves up award-winning thin crust and Chicago-style pizza. Eat in or carry out. In addition to Nick's fabulous pizza, let Nick's cater your events with pizza, pasta, Italian beef, and other delicious offerings. Their big banquet rooms can accommodate all your event needs. So, for great pizza in a Northwoods, cabin-style atmosphere, bring family and friends to Nick's. Visit nickspizzapub.com.
In the mood for some great barbecue, but just don't have time to make it yourself? Carry out Coleman's Barbecue on Elgin's East Side at 79 Clock Tower. Coleman specializes in ribs, tips, chicken wings, seafood, and sandwiches, with sides like coleslaw, potato salad, and dessert. Try Coleman's Exotic Mild Sauce. It's the bomb. You can also buy sauce in gallon or pint sizes. It's prepared just right, the Coleman's way. Call 224-535-8153.
Twin Zeros at 4870 North Harlem Avenue in Harwood Heights, Illinois. Check out the full menu at twinzeros.com. Twin Zeros Restaurant in Harwood Heights not only serves traditional gyros, but also has chicken gyro sandwiches. Twin Zeros also serves a variety of sandwiches ranging from cheeseburgers and Vienna beef hot dogs that have recently been inducted into the Vienna Beef Hot Dog Hall of Fame. Italian beef, Italian sausage, and combo sandwiches. To ethnic favorites such as Slovaki and Grecian chicken. Slovaki is shish kebabs, specifically chicken or pork shish kebabs, grilled to perfection, served on a warm pita with tomatoes, onions, and our homemade tzatziki sauce. You can also enjoy barbecue ribs served every day. Twins is open 7 days a week and also delivers locally. Located at 4870 North Harlem Avenue in Harwood Heights. Check out the full menu at twinzeros.com. That's twinzeros.com.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-234-0316. 800-234-0316. That's 800-234-0316.
In the middle of the night, everything will be all right if you listen to Coast right here on WRMN, 7 days a week from midnight to 5 a.m. Each night on Coast to Coast, listeners are captivated by George Noory with discussions on news and current events, conspiracy theories, UFOs, life after death, and all things curious and unexplained. Coast to Coast, every night, midnight to 5 a.m. right here on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
WRMN has proudly served the Fox River Valley for over 70 years. We're located at 14 Douglas Avenue in downtown Elgin. Right next to Studio 14 is our store known as the Redemption Center. You are always invited to stop by and see us to live large for less. The Redemption Center is the place to pick up your on-air orders, shop for certificates, and grab some brochures to learn about what we have to offer. Our Redemption Center phone number is 847-741-7700.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
All right, great interview with Dan there. Thanks for stopping by, telling us about this great event. I'm sure I'll be pumping it more in the next week, and who knows, maybe we'll even broadcast live for a little piece of it next Friday from Mr. Walter Shales' 100th birthday celebration on the west side of Elgin. It becomes a centenarian. All right, well, we're at 12:54. Hour one of Out to Lunch is just about in the books. Sonar will be in a few minutes to take you through the second hour. We'll see what he's got on his plate for today. And then coming up at 2, Straight Money Talk. Coming up at 3, the Radio Shopping Show with Matt. But you can place an order right now with Matt by calling him at 847-741-7700 between 3 and 6. It's 847-931-1410. I understand we weren't on YouTube for a short time in that first half hour. My bad on that. My apologies on that. If you were looking to watch us on YouTube earlier in the show, I got the video ready and then I never hit the start button. But because someone, that would be you, wonderful Wilma, said hi, I thought that meant we were on YouTube. And so I never really studied it to see that we still were not on YouTube for a while. So my apologies on that. But we'll be on YouTube until 2 o'clock, the rest of the way out on Out to Lunch today. Well, I only have about less than 3 minutes left. So since we've been talking about veterans, let me just mention a couple of things related to vets to close the show, close this hour of the show. The Veterans Plaza paver form is available at Village Hall in South Elgin. If you want to get your veteran, or if you are a veteran and would like to have a paver over in South Elgin as a part of the new veterans area that they're going to have there by the police station that is being built very fast, then you need to get your order in by tomorrow. I'm glad I'm reading this right now. Pavers will measure 4 by 8 and include the following information: rank, name, branch of service, years served. Those that can be recognized with an engraved paver include current or former residents of South Elgin that are veterans, or a veteran who has family residing in South Elgin. Engraved pavers will cost $75. Those wishing to contribute $75 to help a veteran who cannot afford a paver can do so too. Order forms must be turned in and payment processed at Village Hall. Proof of enlistment, DD-214, or current or active honorable discharge papers must be copied and turned in with the order form. If assistance is needed in getting this information, contact Jacob Zimmerman. You have a little more than 24 hours to do this. Call him at the Kane County Veterans Assistance Commission at zimmermanjacob@kanecountyil.gov. Paver orders are accepted anytime. However, to ensure your paver is prepared and installed during the Veterans Plaza construction, please place your order by tomorrow. If you have any more questions and you didn't take that email information, maybe you can take this phone number down. Call 847-622-0003. That's South Elgin. That's 847-622-0003, and ask any more questions that you might have. And get yourself a paver at the Veterans Plaza. It's going to be a nice city hall area over there with the new police station, right across the street from Panton Mill Park, where we will have America's First Responders Fest coming up on September the 7th. All right, well, thank you for joining me for hour one of this show, Out to Lunch. Sonar's around the corner. I think he's still talking with Dan Symonds. He'll be in here in a few minutes to take over in hour two. And I'll be back tomorrow morning with the first shift starting at 6 a.m. Thanks, Jackie, for calling. Sorry I didn't see you the other day at the Egyptian Theater in DeKalb. Mayor Dave Captain's on the show tomorrow morning, as our show will go until 10 o'clock. Captain's Corner at 9:15. Top of the hour news coming your way now. Enjoy the sunshine.
The Elgin Police Department is partnering with the Illinois Department of Transportation, the Illinois State Police, and more than 200 local law enforcement agencies to step up enforcement efforts across the state in recognition of Distracted Driving Awareness Month. Throughout April, motorists can expect increased patrols looking for texting and driving, as well as other traffic violations. Between 2012 and 2021, approximately 32,000 lives were lost in crashes involving distracted drivers. Everyone has the potential for distracted driving crashes, but those between the ages of 16 and 24 are especially at risk. If you need to text, pull over to a safe location. Or if you have a passenger, consider appointing a designated texter. Whatever the solution, don't text and drive. In Illinois, using your phone in anything other than a hands-free mode is not only dangerous, but it's also illegal. The Illinois Distracted Driving Campaign is funded with federal traffic safety funds administered by IDOT.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 1 o'clock.
Highlighting a story from the APnews.com, anonymous users are dominating right-wing discussions online. They also spread false information. The reposts and expressions of shock from public figures followed quickly after a user on the social platform X, who uses a pseudonym, claimed that the government website had revealed skyrocketing rates of voter registration without a photo ID in 3 states this year, which prompted X owner Elon Musk to reply twice to articles saying, quote, extremely concerning. State election officials soon found themselves forced to respond. They said the user, who pledged to fight and expose and mock quote-unquote wokeness, was wrong and had distorted Social Security Administration data. Actual voter registration during the time period cited were much lower than the numbers being shared online. Stephen Richard, the recorder in Maricopa County, Arizona, which includes Phoenix, refuted the claim in multiple X posts, while Jay Nelson, the Secretary of State of Texas, issued a statement calling it totally inaccurate. Yet by the time they tried to correct the record, the false claim had spread widely. In 3 days, the pseudonym user's claim amassed more than 63 million views on X, according to the platform's metrics. A thorough explanation from Richard attracted a fraction of that, reaching 2.4 million users. The incident sheds light on how social media accounts that shield their identities of the people or groups behind them with clever slogans or cartoon avatars have come to dominate right-wing political discussion online, even as they spread false information. For WRMN News 1410, I am Ben Boquist.
LaFleur Taco Grill at 910 Dundee Avenue at the corner of Slade has great fast casual Mexican food for the whole family. There's a huge selection of salads, quesadillas, a Taco Tuesday special, burritos, gorditas, and the Thursday Flautas dinner deal. LaFleur Taco Grill also has American favorites and breakfast. There's a kids menu too. Planning an event? LaFleur has catering with both Mexican and American foods. Call 847-214-1306 or LaFleur Taco Grill on Facebook.
We are Lions International, the world's largest service organization. We are volunteers committed to strengthening our communities and supporting those in need, one act of kindness at a time. For more than a century, Lions have been serving a world in need, right here in our community and around the world. Lions International makes the impossible possible. This is your invitation to join us, because the only thing missing from our mission to make a difference is you. Visit lionsclub.org to find a local Lions Club near you.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
The Bulls came up short last night, falling 128-117 at United Center against the Knicks. Chicago remains ninth in the Eastern Conference. They got a little bit of help when the Heat beat 10th place Atlanta in double overtime 117-111. The Hawks just a game behind Chicago in the standings. The White Sox snapped a 5-game losing skid with a 7-5 win at Cleveland. Chicago pulled away with 2 runs in the top of the 8th. Just the second win of the season for the White Sox, while the Guardians dropped to 8-3. Dominic Fletcher's 2-run double in the 8th was the difference maker. The Cubs beat the Padres 5-1 on Tuesday. Chris Morel hit a grand slam. It was the first of his career. Yan Gomes also went deep for the Cubs, who held on, unlike Monday when they blew an 8-0 lead in a 9-8 loss to open the 3-game set. Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. Get 6 times longer lasting freshness plus odor protection with.
If you are 50 years and older, you are welcome to join Elgin State Bank's sponsored movie days at Elgin Marcus Theater. It will always be on the second Thursday of each month. Doors open at 8:30 a.m. At 9 a.m., you will hear a very brief message from Sherry Aschenbrenner about upcoming senior events. And movies will begin at approximately 9:30 a.m. Coffee and a donut is complimentary. You can always call the movie theater hotline number of 847-888-7976 to find out what movies are playing each month. The cost is $3 if you are a member of Elgin State Bank, meaning you have an account there, and $5 if you are a non-member. And for more senior information, catch Sherry's Senior Showcase on the third Tuesday of every month at 9:15 a.m. right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Welcome to Out to Lunch with WRMN. That's WRMN 1410 AM, the voice of the valley, the talk of the town, and the home of radio shopping. My name is Dennis Sonar Green. I will be with you for this Out to Lunch hour. I hope you're taking WRMN out to lunch with you. But Sonar, what are the different ways that I can take WRMN out to lunch with me? You say all of these crazy things on the air. What can I do? How do I make these things happen? Well, first off, you're listening to me already. I hope you're listening on the airwaves on 1410 AM. Maybe you are listening on the web, WRMN1410.com. Or perhaps you've got one of those handy-dandy apps that we've got for everything now. You can listen to WRMN on the TuneIn app. You can listen to WRMN on our app. Just search for WRMN Radio on your favorite app store. The other way that you can take WRMN out to lunch with you is a gift certificate. That's right. We are the home of the radio shopping show. And we've got lots and lots of gift certificates that are out there, especially today. It's hump day. Go ahead and save April 10th. If you want to check out those daily deals, go to WRMN1410.com. That's right. $25 value for $10, $20 values for $8, $15 values for $6, and $10 value gift certificates for $4 as they go through there. And don't forget, for every $10 that you have for $10 orders, you get a bingo card. Bingos happen all the time, and we run those bingo games on game day at the end of the month. Lots and lots of things that are out there in the world. And of course, not only all of the great things that I'm handing out to you right now, I've got another special treat for you all. I have two of my favorite Brain Trust people that are out right now. Of course, you know Ben Demonium Boquest, the best executive producer in the entire world as it goes. But let me introduce you, WRMN listeners, to one of the best show hosts that I have ever met. He also teaches just like I do. You know, if you know to do something, you're good at your craft, you know what, you want to share it, that would be the Darien America. Thank you both for being here with me today.
My pleasure, man. I'm glad to be here with you, Sonar. I love you, man. I love Ben. I'm very happy to be here.
It's fun times as always, when we got him.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, nice to see you. It's been a while.
Yeah, man. You still look like it. Hey, I'm fantastic. You still look like you're about 23, 24, man. Are they still carding you at the bar? I think they should.
I got the beard helps.
I got you.
That's it. So, Darian, you've been
Yep.
teaching at the media school in Chicago, the IMS, the Illinois Media School, also beonair.com if you want to get it. How has that been, teaching the young broadcasters of the future?
Well, first off, thank you for having me, Sonar, and of course, Ben Sanity. I love seeing you guys. It's a pleasure to be here. It feels like we're back at home, and I'm always at home when you guys are in the building. So, IMS Chicago. It has definitely been challenging, but I still love it because I love to give back. You know, when I came through the program, I graduated 2017 of the Sports Emphasis program, and the first position that I got was with 1590. And I mean, that was incredible. And I felt like you guys took a gamble on me, showed me what I needed to do, and I was able to grow into that. And I said, man, I got to give this back to the others. You know, I got to make sure that people behind me are doing this because we are getting up there. And the individuals who are in front of us right now, they've been in it for a long time, and nobody beats Father Time. So we got to get the future coming and get them going into the sports and into media, I should say. And I'm very happy to be able to try to help and give them what I can. And when they graduate, maybe when they start their own companies, they may come back and hire me. So I love it.
There you go. Ben, you were a student over at IMS, but I think you went to the Lombard campus. Speak to what Darian was talking about there. How important is it for somebody to not pull up the ladder behind them, right? They succeeded, and you want to help it reach down. There was a couple people that helped you when you were going through school.
Oh, that's what it's all about. I mean, the connections you make at school, and yeah, I went to the school in 2010, which was it's a bygone era. It seems like a lifetime ago at this point. But yeah, at that point, the media industry was going through a big shift. So just the amount of people who either were in my class that helped me along. I got my first job with someone who was in my class. And then we've been just helping each other ever since through my internship program, meeting people there between French and all you guys at 1590 who I eventually ended up working with over there. Yeah, the industry, as most are some branded incestuous, but it's more so marketing or all connected is what it is. If you work in the industry long enough, you're going to work with the same people on different projects, in different jobs, in different capacities, and it's all about really helping each other make those shows and connections. And we've been doing this for how long? 9-10 years together since we started at 1590, and still going strong and finding new things to do and people to talk with and shows to do and help out. And Out to Lunch, the newest, coolest show that we're on right now, is probably my favorite one so far. We just get the free flow lunchtime entertainment, chilling. Go ahead and give us a call at the phone number here. Sonar, you got that?
Oh, yeah, of course. As a prepared broadcaster, I've got my one sheet with me, laminated and everything with the coffee stain. They decided to laminate it after I put the coffee stain in there instead of printing another one out. So it's definitely bona fide. It's been blessed. But I brought you guys on. If anybody wants to call in, Studio 14, 847-931-1410, by the way. The reason I brought on the Broadcasting Brain Trust is I want to talk about the future of media. We've got a lot of different things of how we grew up. The three of us grew up with phones on the wall. That's what we had as a kid. It wasn't in your hand all the time. It wasn't in your pocket. I couldn't imagine. Somebody told you, yeah, let me just get my phone out of my pocket when you guys were in like high school or something. You would have been like, what? How big is your pocket? You got those Jenkos on, those Jenko jeans, the big elephant trunk, elephant foot looking pants that you got there. So you're teaching it right now, Darian. How has the new generation accepted media? Because, I mean, when we talk about media, I go immediately to TV. That's just what we grew up with, was TV was king at that point. Now, I was grounded a lot, so I got to listen to the radio a lot more than I necessarily watched TV. But what are the mediums, I guess, that some of these younger broadcasters are starting to lean into?
Great question, Sonar. And definitely those phones being on the wall, the dial that you had to hit on, man, that you spun. So today, you know, the youth, they are getting into the apps that a lot of our phones that we put in our pockets now contain. You know, you got a lot of them that are on YouTube. We got a lot of them that jump on a lot of these apps that we're using. And it is interesting because this gives you news right away. Like back in the day, we used to have to wait like till 4, 5, 6, and 10 unless you were listening to AM radio. Well, it's so much bigger now. I mean, we have facets where you don't necessarily need AM or FM to get to. And these students today, they know those facets and they are jumping on. I mean, they're trying to get on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, definitely. And it's real nice to see. The only drawback that I have from it is it's so many different caveats. You know, you can go anywhere to find your news. And sometimes you run into fake news. So as I'm teaching, I'm definitely making sure that my students, hey, look, you got to include a source with anything that you're putting out there to the world, because you don't ever want to put false information out there. If you've got the source, you dictate that source. If you got to say it during your podcast or whatever you're doing, make sure you're talking about that source and let people know where the information came from, because it's not the same like it used to be. You can't just hear somebody say on WGN, well, there's going to be a tornado tomorrow, and then it doesn't happen. No, if you think it's going to be a tornado, you make sure you recover it, you report it, and put those facts with it. So that's something that I'm big on my students about. Don't do fake news ever.
Yeah, it's there. And Ben, to kind of extrapolate on that, you do a lot of editing for things. How hard is it with these platforms to balance the message with the source, right? Because you've got to give time to both. And if I've only got 90 seconds to do this, where do you find that balance in there? Is it putting a link in the description and then just saying, you know what, that's where what I'll do with it, or should it be baked into the content?
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes with consistency of how much you're putting stuff out there with news. For me, with citing the sources with what you got, it's as easy as staying on top of your stuff and being able to do a retraction, that kind of thing. It's important, and also just using reputable sources. Darian said earlier, it used to be such a standard that the news was, you could believe everything that happened on there. Whereas today there's so much news and so much content happening all the time that even they're messing up at a higher rate. So it's one of those things you got to be able to get your message out and correct anything as quick as you can that was not correct. And also, maybe letting stories breathe to the fact that you don't have to be the first person to post everything all the time. Sometimes breaking news is kind of valued more, but when it turns out to be false information, you only get so many times that you can do that, where people will still even go to you as a source for news or entertainment. So yeah, really just being as forthright as you can, and getting multiple sources to confirm things before putting stuff out there is an important part of it. So yeah, I think overall just being able to be honest and retract things, and also make sure you have as little retractions as possible.
There you go. I've brought out the broadcast brain trust so that we can talk about all of the media that is happening. We're going to come back with transmedia, maybe possibly multi-format medias, all of the different things that are out there. It's no longer radio and television. You've got to have the social media added to everything. So we're going to take your questions about all the social media, all of the different formats and mediums that are out there. Call in Studio 14, 847-931-1410 on Out to Lunch with WRMN. Broadcasting Brain Trust, Darian Sims and Bendemonium Boquest, and Dennis Sonar Green. We'll be right back after these.
As grocery prices rise, take your family out to any of the Tommy's Red Hots location for great food at unbelievably low prices. There's 6 locations to serve you for both dine-in or carry-out. Tommy's has a diverse, delicious menu for you and your family, with crispy pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and their famous hot dogs, plus so much more. Don't forget their scrumptious sides like mac and cheese bites. To see their menu and locations, visit Tommy'sRedHots.com today.
Discover the authentic taste of Italy at Maziano's Pizza and Pastaria at Route 20 and Nestler in Elgin. There is one true fact of everyday life that never dulls: the simple pleasure of eating great Italian food. At Maziano's, they'll make sure your dinner or lunch will be the best part of your day. Whether you have a taste for pizza or any of Maziano's homemade Italian recipes, like ravioli or lasagna, they can also cater your party. Enjoy it any way you like: delivery, carry-out, or dine-in. Visit Mazianos.com.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. No matter the time of the day, WRMN 1410 AM is your platform to voice your views, share your stories, and connect with the Valley like never before. We're more than just radio. We're a community conversation that's always live, always local, and always looking for your input. Want to chime in on the drive time deal with Matt McNeil? Got a hot tip for first shift with Marky B? Or maybe you've got a question for a one-on-one with Leah. Now's the time to make your voice heard by calling Studio 14 at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. You can join in the dialogue from wherever you are by commenting on our YouTube live streams at WRMN Radio. Hit the subscribe button to get notified when we go live and bring your comments to the table. It's easy, it's fun, and hey, it's what neighbors do. We talk, we listen, we engage. You're not just the audience, you're part of the show. Call in, comment, and let's make radio interactive. WRMN 1410 AM, where your words are part of our wavelength.
WRMN says thank you to all of our local veterans, like Jerry Christofferson of True Patriots Care.
We had the 1,700 flags up across from the wall. That's how many POWs and MIAs from Vietnam are still missing. Plus, we do veterans and first responders funerals.
Yeah.
And so if you ever drive by a funeral home or a church or a cemetery and you see the flags, you know a soldier died today.
Go to TruePatriotsCare.com for more information. And veterans, thank you for your service to our country.
For many years, Italian Pizza Kitchen in Roselle has been serving quality and excellence. Italian Pizza Kitchen is family-owned with experience in preparing authentic Italian cuisine with the freshest, highest quality ingredients since the 50s. Your food is always prepared fresh with the same traditions, recipes, and standards that they've perfected over the years. Italian Pizza Kitchen has a passion for great cuisine and customer service. Visit ItalianPizzaKitchen.com.
This is McGruff the Crime Dog, and I need you to help me take a bite out of crime. Counterfeit products are popping up everywhere. Fake sneakers, fake cosmetics, and even fake pills. Crooks are selling counterfeit versions of just about everything. Last year, billions of dollars worth of counterfeit products were sold in the U.S. Sure, it may seem like saving a few bucks on the things you want isn't a big deal, but counterfeits are usually made in unsafe conditions, potentially using hazardous and even lethal ingredients that could harm you and others. And the money you've paid, it goes right into the hands of criminals and may support child labor, drugs, and even gangs. Smells like big crime to me. So if you still think buying fake products is harmless, think again. And remember, if you don't know where the products came from, how could you know where the money goes? You're smart, buy smart. Go for real. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org. This message is brought to you by the United States Patent and Trademark Office and the National Crime Prevention Council.
Welcome back to WRMN. That's right, it's Out to Lunch with WRMN. I am your host for today, Dennis Sonar Green. You hear my voice every once in a while. You can almost hear my voice daily if you're listening to WRMN. And if you listen hourly, you probably hear me on one of these spots that we read. That's right, the commercials. I talk to my students. I teach over at the media school as well with our guest, Dan Symonds. He's at the other campus. I talk to our students about how what we've got is with the Inuit tribes, with the Eskimos, they have all of the different words for snow, right? It's so important to them that they've got different words for it. Well, here in radio, we've got different words for advertisements because it's so important for us. Spots, ads, advertisements, avails, commercials, whatever you want to call it, messages from the sponsors, et cetera, et cetera. So that kind of brings us into the discussion I want to have for this segment of the multiple formats that things live in. Now, back in the day, as we talked about it, it was video, which was television, radio, which was audio, or print. There wasn't really a third medium. Now, you can throw in billboards or street signs or things like that, but I kind of group that into physical media. That print, that the handouts, the trifolds, the signs, the physical thing that I made to broadcast or advertise with, or however it goes. Now it is so much more. Now you can always break it into video versus audio versus print or whatever, but the destinations have changed. Darian, I want to ask you about it first. The destinations have changed. It's no longer here I am, I'm going to sit down and sit for the appointment broadcasting is what we call it now. The 8 o'clock news, the 10 o'clock news, like you said, that's appointment broadcasting. I have to show up at time or otherwise I'm late for whatever media is supposed to be delivered to me. Now with the deliverables of all these different mediums, how has that shaped the actual content? Because before, at least we thought that we might be able to stretch for 15 minutes before a commercial break happens. Now you've got to get in, you got to get out. If your video's longer than 5 minutes, you probably won't be able to post it on a certain platform, and people are going to step away. So how, Darian, has this delivery system kind of changed how we make the content?
That is a great question. At least now it is moving it along faster. So, of course, being in this American society, we look for instant gratification right away. I mean, you tell a person, hey, you take this pill, it'll help you lose weight. They think they take one pill as soon as they take it, and they're going to shed like 60 pounds. Same thing with our news, man. I used to like to wait for the news because that gives you opportunity to work through the other things throughout the day. But now that it's coming so quickly, so fast, so furiously, it has to be right. And you'll hear a lot of things that, because if you hear it and it sounds interesting to you, okay, now I want to share it with everybody. I want to tell everybody that I heard that you can cure COVID with taking steamed orange peels, putting your face over a pot and inhaling. Yeah, okay, well, nice. It's nice to hear, but that ain't the truth, man. But people are still wanting that right away. I gotta have it now. I gotta know that South Carolina won the national championship right away, and that's fine. But they're not really digging into, okay, well, Caitlin Clark did so much XYZ, but South Carolina did this. You get those experts that want to sit and listen to those things. Now, they want the information right away, and they cannot be wrong because if you're an alleged expert, you want to say the right thing right away. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I like that the news can come fast and furious and I can get it as soon as it happens, but I want it to be right. And that's where we kind of toe the line. Yeah, I say 90% of the time, yeah, the news is right, but if you miss one item, then it can throw off the entire newscast. Mm-hmm. So they got to be right, man. Be right, be fast. That's the way it is. Everybody's phone is a telephone. I mean, it's more than telephone. It's a TV. It's social media streaming. It's everything built into your pocket. So you got to have it fast, and their attention span is about 30 to 45 seconds, let me tell it. So if your story is longer than 2 minutes, you're trading. So just get it right, man, and get it right and get it fast, but be thorough.
Yeah, it's almost like we only have time for the headlines. So now when I ask my students to write a spot, ask them to write copy. So I usually set a pace of about 100 words per minute. So that way you can fit all of the words in there as you need to. Now it may get to 150 or somewhere around there. So now you turn around and say, okay, well, I've only got 90 seconds. I've got a minute and a half. Now I am looking at that 150 words. If I want to maybe put a sponsor on there as well, now I'm eating up even more time. If I want to do an introduction, hey, I'm so and such, or visit me for wherever I need to go. Now, really for the content and able to get the story out, I'm probably only dedicating 75 to 50 words for the actual content that's in there. Ben, is that enough time? You do broadcasting, you do news broadcasting, 2 minutes a pop. Is that enough time to even get out one story, let alone any kind of string of headlines?
You know, yeah, I get called out sometimes about the stories on News for You going a little too long because there's a lot of detail that needs to be explained to properly, understand a lot of these stories that are going on. You know, in such a headline-driven society, that's how, people are, to where they want to know. They want to basically read the headline and say, okay, I know everything I need to know about that story, on to the next one. But I think it really behooves a lot of people to get a little more detail in there to explain the nuance. So yeah, if anything, I'm fighting back against that headline type of mentality, and I think that's just kind of the nature of the game, to where everything's getting completely faster and more. Like Darian was hitting on, instant gratification is a huge part of it. You could only be instantly gratified. It goes away just as quick sometimes when you're instantly gratified. Instant degratification is the usual next step in the process of instant gratification. So it maybe definitely it's understandable that that's the way that media is going, to where everything needs to be quick clips, short to the point. But at the same time, it's the first time where you have people having 3-hour conversations on podcasts where people listen to the whole thing regularly. So I think there's the best of both worlds, and that's it. Long answer would be no, or a short answer version of my answer would be no. That's not enough. 2 minutes is not enough time to explain a story. But it again, good on technology for making it possible for us to even get that stuff out there. Because when you think about it, if all you need to know is the headline, and then you do your own research, you just have to rely on people actually going and diving deeper into the headlines, and not just leaving it at that. To do your own due diligence and such.
Yeah, having a good diet, having a good media diet. So if you look at some of these fast things as popping Skittles, right? You get that instant gratification, sitting here eating candy all day. I'm just popping it in. I'm scrolling. I'm whether it's doom scrolling or you're trying to just run through in the middle of the night or something like that. You're just you're binging media and go through. And so having that extra little bit of diet, maybe you need some leafy greens in your media diet. Maybe you need to sit down and read a thing, or you need to have a 20-minute deep dive of a subject that you heard because of that. And we're talking media and all of the things of just popping Skittles of the media that's out there with the brain trust, the broadcasting brain trust of Darian America Sims and also Bendemonium Boquest that's on here. Darian, when you talk about media diet, when you talk about what kinds of media that we all need to be kind of exposed to, what are some of the healthy media that's out there? Like if you look at TikTok or all that stuff, it's just like popping Skittles and doing things like that. What is some of the healthy media that you point your students towards?
Wow, great question, because I am not a fan of the TikToks of the world and Instagrams and all of that.
Is it a generational thing? Do we not like TikTok because we don't like the young kids? We had Vines.
Initially, yeah, do it for the Vine. I'm not going to do it. Yeah, initially, I hated those when they first came out, but I grew to ingest them. But the way I use them is for entertainment. I mean, I don't really feel like the information that comes from the TikToks of the world is accurate, because they are very short, and TikTok is based around advertising. You'll be right in the middle of your story, and then they'll pop a 10-second video in there to get you distracted, and then it's like, okay, well, what about what I was just looking at? And I will get distracted. So when I tell my students to go look for news, you got to stay with the old faithful, the old reliables, CNN, because they're going to check their sources. The ABC, NBC, CBS, they are going to check their sources. I did have an opportunity to work for WBBM for a while, and I was in the newsroom, and I was literally preparing the scripts for the anchors as they read them. So I can't have Felicia Middlebrooks reading some negative news. Well, if it's negative, it's negative, but it has to be accurate. And we know that if it's coming from WBBM, because they are based through CBS, it's going to be correct. So if you see something on TikTok, okay, fine. It could be right, but I just can't trust them. Go to the originals, CNN. They're never going to put something out there that's negative, and if they do, they're going to backtrack on it real fast, or they're going to spin it so that it doesn't look like they did something wrong. But overall, they're more trustworthy to me than the TikToks and the Instagrams of the world.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the heritage media that's out there, they have a reputation to uphold, right? If I have a TikTok, I can, and I say something bad, I can essentially shut down my TikTok and go and fire up another one, and do the exact same thing over and over. Change my look. Maybe I shave or something like that, or put on a wig, and then I can just fire up a whole nother TikTok, say whatever I want to with it, or go from that. Ben, where do you go? Do you use Adfontes? Do you use Mediaite? How do you grade your sources?
Oh man, yeah, I use the theory of casting a wide net, and then just kind of sifting out the BS that you see, and a lot of it is very well veiled, as far as bias and leanings. A great source, Adfontes, like you said, the media checker via ground.news, great source. And also just like knowing the trends of the media industry, the way that right-wing stuff frames stuff, and the way that left-wing media frames stuff, maybe why they would cover certain stories in certain ways, and just overall kind of media literacy is, I think, what they call it.
If you know
these days,
if you know what their goal is, if you kind of know what their overall message is it easier to filter that bias out if you already know what it is? So you talk about the biases of the media side, and they've obviously got something. There's some kind of skin in the game of it. I mean, even right now, this show right now has a bias of being entertaining. We've got to get the listeners. That's my bias. That's why we've got to talk like this. We can't. So I've got a bias already baked into media of hey, you got to listen to me. But if I know somebody's bias and I know the message that they're trying to put, even overtly or covertly or however they want to do it, if I know the bias, is it easier to filter out the truth if I already know that bias, or does it make it harder? Darian, I'll go to you first.
Question. Trying to get the meat off the bones of the story. I personally I hit it right away. I don't, if there's any extra stuff, I trim all the fat, not even entertaining or interested in the fat around this story.
Mm-hmm.
I want facts. I live in black and white. I don't do gray very well. I need, hit me directly, bam, let's hit it. Tell me what I need to know. And if I want to start going into the gray area, then I may do a little bit more research, or maybe I'll look at another application that's talking about it. Like right now, this thing with P. Diddy is real big.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's an interesting story. And I personally am not for, if these things that they're accusing Diddy of, if he's done these things, then let the course run and let's get him if that's what they got to do. But I'm not entertained in all of the facts behind it. His drug mule had drugs on the plane. They stopped the plane, and then the girl got this. No, I'm okay. That's fine if that's what you want to talk about. I need black and white. Mm-hmm. Did he commit a crime? Did he take these women across state lines and violate them? Is there proof of it? Because just because you say something, that doesn't mean it's the truth. Let's get the black and white. Let's stay on that. That's where I'm at. Now, once the case has been run, if he is found guilty and he is convicted and arrested, okay, then start feeding me the fluff after that. But I want the truth. Did he do these things? Did he hurt these women? Did he get taken care of for it? Let's do that part. I don't care about the other. Well, he smoked 10 pounds of weed. They had all this weed. I'm jealous, but I don't care. Mm-hmm. Let me get the facts. I want black and white. Tell me what it is, and let me move on.
Ben, is this where the word allegedly usually carries the torch at that point? Because, I mean, that's one of the hardest working words in media is allegedly. Alleged this, and I allege that happened. How heavy is that word nowadays because of this sentiment?
Yeah, it's basically the AI version of everybody's legal department. Just say allegedly. Put in allegedly. AI.
Yeah, put that's my opinion on everything, right? Otherwise,
well, opinions like backsides. We all got one. So yeah, opinions. Mm-hmm.
Allegedly, we have opinions. That's it right there. We're gonna hit one more break before we get out of here. Don't forget WRMN 1410, the voice of the valley, the talk of the town, and the home of radio shopping. You can go to WRMN 1410 right now. The store online never closes, but if you want to go to the Redemption Center at 16 Douglas, come and visit us. 16 Douglas right here in Elgin. But you can give Matt McNeil a call, 847-741-7700. He is going to do the drive time deal with Matt McNeil from 3 to 6. So go ahead and get in there early. Check out the daily deals at WRMN1410.com. And we'll be right back with the Broadcasting Brain Trust here on Out to Lunch, WRMN 1410.
Is it noon already? Take your lunch hour up a notch with Out to Lunch from 12 to 2 p.m. right here on WRMN 1410 a.m. Unwind with the perfect blend of soothing sounds and lighthearted conversations that'll make every bite taste better. Whether you're in office or out on the town, let us serve up the best in radio company. Stream on the go with our app on Google and Apple. Because lunchtime is your time. Out to Lunch every day from 12 to 2 on WRMN 1410 AM, the talk of the town.
From morning coffee to your evening commute, WRMN 1410 AM is here for you. The faithful friend that brings you local news, timely topics, and the friendliest voices in the Valley. Stay informed, entertained, and engaged with our full lineup of shows, streaming all day, every day at WRMN1410.com or on the WRMN app. Wherever you are, we're right there with you. So why switch stations? Stick with the one that has it all. WRMN 1410 AM, your daily companion, your constant conversation.
Over the years, you've brought them into your home. You were prescribed opioids after the C-section, when Dad injured his back, when your basketball star tore his ACL. Opioids helped with the pain, and you held on to them just in case. But did you know holding on to unused opioids puts your family at risk? Opioids are powerful pain-reducing prescription medicines, but most people who are prescribed opioids don't finish their prescriptions. So millions of unused opioids are sitting in homes across the country. And tragically, more than 100 Americans die every day from overdoses involving opioids. What can you do to protect your family? Remove the risk of unused opioids from your home. Pills, patches, or syrups in drawers, purses, and cabinets, anywhere they might be hiding. To find out how to dispose of them properly, visit www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Columbia College of Missouri Elgin campus is intent in their commitment to open doors and support those who strive for excellence. Too many people have been made to feel that higher education isn't a place for them, that it is someone else's dream. But Columbia College of Missouri has changed all that. With individualized attention and ongoing support, Columbia College knows a future built by you is a future built for you. Columbia College of Missouri Elgin campus, your new starts now. Visit ccis.edu.
Keeping your car's coolant system in good shape with a regular flush is really important. Let the experts at Meineke Car Care Center at 376 Sundown Road in South Elgin remove your old coolant, preventing chemical buildups in your engine. Then they'll fill your entire system with new coolant to help your engine run smoothly and prevent rust and corrosion, increasing your engine's lifespan. To schedule your appointment, call 847-888-9644.
As the Elgin Police Department continues to participate in the Distracted Driving campaign, they wanted to share some tips from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration website regarding safe driving. If you are expecting a text or need to send one, pull over and park your car in a safe location. Once you are safely off the road and parked, it's safe to text. Designate your passenger as your designated texter. Allow them to access your phone to respond to calls or messages. Do not engage in social media scrolling or messaging while driving. Are you struggling not to text and drive? Activate your phone's Do Not Disturb feature or put your cell phone in the trunk, the glove box, or the back seat of your vehicle until you arrive at your destination. Remember, the Elgin Police are conducting directed patrols to enforce distracted driving violations. Just drive and stay safe. A message from our friends at the Elgin Police Department and your friends here at WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Welcome back to Out to Lunch on WRMN 1410. This is your last segment to get in with the Broadcasting Brain Trust. Together, I think we have almost 35 years of broadcasting experience between the three of us. And by the three of us, I mean yours truly, Dennis Sonar Green, also Darian America Sims, and Ben Demonium Boquest. But before I bring those two fine gentlemen in here, did I tell you about the radio shopping yet? I don't think I have. Let me just make sure that I did. Radio shopping 24 hours. You can go to WRMN1410.com right now. Find the entire inventory that's sitting right there. You can order, you can sign up, you can do absolutely everything sans person. You don't even have to talk to anybody. So if you're feeling that you want some barbecue for the next day or anything like that, you can go ahead and order your lunch or anything that you plan on doing online and then come in when we open the Redemption Center, pick up your gift certificates, and head out your way as you want to go. All about planning, right? It's all about a plan. It's all about getting together. Or let's say you don't know what you want to do. You don't even have the internet right now. Thank you for listening on AM radio. It's great. It's still a medium that's out there. You can't get rid of it. It's going to be there forever. Hundreds of years from now, still AM radio waves, still going to be around. So, hey, good on you for sticking true to the medium that you like. But come on over. We can do everything online for you. You can, if you hear about a deal that we have over the air, come down and visit us, 16 Douglas here in Elgin, and Matt McNeil will really help you. Anybody over here will help you make that order, look through our inventory for things, lots and lots of stuff that's happening. I have been talking about Matt McNeil a little bit. He's running the Redemption Center right now from 11 to 3, but then he's on the air from 3 to 6 p.m. Don't forget, First Shift with Marky B is the other side of that 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. every morning. And of course, you're listening to Out to Lunch with me, Marky B. Leah jumps in on the one-on-one on Fridays, but she'll come in every once in a while. That's the point of the Out to Lunch, is all of the different voices. And let me tell you some broadcasting voices that we're bringing on here. That's right, Ben Demonium Boquest, and of course the Darian America himself. Darian, you've got a new show that you're talking about. That's why I really brought you on here. I want to get some exposure out there, get you some listeners, because I'll tell you what, you're missing out if you're not already listening to something Darian's doing. That's Nights in America with Darian America. And when do you drop these episodes? Where can I listen? Where can I watch?
That's a great question. And right now, we're still in the process of getting the shows together. Mm-hmm. I am looking for or shopping for a network home, but until I do, you can find me at, of course, facebook.com/Darian D. Silk Sims, aka Darian America, and jump on one of my pages. The American Silk Radio Network is the station that I'm pushing. American Radio Network, all silk all the time. So it's always smooth, and we know that's what I live in. You got to be smooth to be D Silk, baby.
Mm-hmm. Smooth as fast is what the Navy taught me, and you move like a shark, buddy. You are always moving, always. I think if you sat down, then you would just cease to exist. You just poof out of existence, because I'm telling you, man, you are the king of media hustle. And if you aren't following Darian Sims somewhere in the world, you are missing out, because this guy is a gold mine of knowledge, both in broadcasting and things that are happening around the city of Chicago as well. What is Nights in America going to focus around?
Well, during my last show, Darian America, the United States champion of justice, fixing America's issues one state at a time. I never tried to fix the 50 states. I mean, hey, that's what Joe Biden is for. Let him handle all that. I take care of the state of being. Like, what's going on? What are you doing? Like, the state of being hungry. How do you fix that? I'm just throwing something out as an example. But this time, with Nights in America, I'm approaching it more along the lines of a night talk show. I miss Arsenio Hall, man. I miss Johnny Carson. I know we got Jimmy Fallon doing his thing, and I think even he may be leaving, him, Stephen Colbert, whatever. I love those type of shows, because it's more than just a straight news show. Okay, we're not just talking news and beating you over the head with, the eclipse just happened. That was wonderful, by the way. I so many people talking bad about the eclipse, man. That's cool, because we're not going to see it again until 2024, man. Come on, man. That eclipse was awesome, and I'm glad I was here to see it. I mean, I don't know where I'll be in 2024, but any event, I'm aiming at doing a nighttime talk show. So maybe we interview upcoming artists. We interview some people who are chefs. Man, I know you get out in the kitchen a little bit too, Sonar. So,
it's fun.
Yeah, you're going to have to bring some of them dishes my way. I mean, it's all about enjoying the good part of life. I'm trying to get people to smell the roses, man, because the internet and regular conversation today, it's so harsh and so terrible, let me tell it. The world is not going to blow up tomorrow, y'all. If the world blows up, it'll be man that does it because man will destroy this planet, not a national disaster. It'll be us. So let's smell the good things. I plan on talking to individuals who are about being positive, onward and upward. Yeah, we're going to have to touch a little bit of negativity because that's the world, but that's not my world. Because let me tell you, any day above ground is a good day. And we're going to celebrate the good days on Nights of America. Still looking for the platform that I'm going to broadcast it on, and we're solidifying a time. So be on the lookout. Daring America, I ain't going nowhere, y'all. I am here, and I am America.
Smooth as silk, because
say that.
The issue is that we've got too many jagged edges. We've got too much rough that's going on. You said it right, we're all about the shock value now. We went into this era of, let's say, like South Park type of just scare tactics of shock value with everything. And that went into the rest of our media. Oh, this corn star right here did this thing over here, and therefore this that happened, and it's all the scandal and everything else that's in it. Why can't we take it back to just common sense? And back the center's not sharp. The center is there. There's a reason that gravity makes balls, right? There's not a reason why there's not square planets that are out there. When you start bringing it to the center, you start to smooth it out. And I really like that approach, Darian. It's going to be a trip. I can't wait.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, you say gravity made balls. I mean, man helped make balls too. But so, in the event, man, I'm just so tired of the negativity, man. And it's easy, it's easier to tell somebody I hate you than it is to tell a person I love you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, man, your heart gets to racing and you may start sweating, palms sweating, and why are you so nervous to say I love you? That's the good part. You should be a little nervous to tell somebody I hate you because of the repercussions that can come from it. I mean, hopefully you're talking to an individual who's kind of stable and grounded. But if you tell the wrong person, man, I hate you, you could wake up in a hospital somewhere if you wake up at all. So, yeah, we know how to do that stuff, man. It's like you said, shock value. How do you shock people today? I mean, I remember back in the day when I thought Friday the 13th was the scariest movie ever. You see this big old swole dude in a hockey mask walking around with a tomahawk or a blade, a machete. That don't scare nobody now.
No.
But in the 80s, yeah, I was terrified. I didn't sleep for a couple of days off that. Now it's like you put out a horror movie. The only horror I can think of is when you walk to that ATM and you put that bank card in there and it says decline. That's horror.
That's
like,
it.
What am I gonna do, man? I need gas. I need food. Nah, that's horror. But a big dude with a machete, I ain't scared of you, man.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate you guys coming in as well. Ben, your last couple of minutes here. You're right with Darian where he says when you say I hate you, you're severing a connection. But in a network broadcasting type of sense, when you say I love you, you're making a connection. Can you just in the last couple minutes, how with broadcasting, how is that with your yes approach? Yes, we can do it. Yes,
I talk too much. Sorry.
That's okay.
No, you're saying all the right stuff, man. Yeah, I think just overall positivity. There's so much negativity. It's the easy way to go is to be negative about stuff, to be a hater. Who's not a hater? Haters are more heard than ever, so they love that these days. But it takes a lot to be the person to say, you know what, actually that's not such a bad thing, or maybe I love that instead of I hate that.
There you go.
Maybe people will go, you want to lose, you see, like that the laugh track. It's either ha 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 or ooh. Like you'll get the ooh one.
The Broadcasting Brain Trust has done it again. That's Darian Sims. Find Nights in America with Darian America and Ben Demonium Boquest. My name is Dennis Sonar Green. This has been Out to Lunch with WRMN, the voice of the valley, the talk of the town, and of course, the home of radio shopping. We'll see you next time. Stay tuned to more WRMN and Street Talk Money next.
Hey parents, even though it's chilly out, it's not too early to start.